What's up, everybody? Welcome to the newest episode of Amateur Theory, the podcast where we talk about usually bad, usually old movies. And we got another one for you, but a little bit different this time because this one is NC-17.
Ooh, spicy.
It's mature content over here. So we watched the movie Showgirls, which, you know, even on the Wikipedia page, it lists as one of the worst movies of all time. You know, this is and a lot of people consider it a so bad it's a good movie.
Yeah, you see the movie show up on those lists quite often as one of those so bad it's good.
Yeah, did you feel like it falls in that camp?
I could see for some people why it might. I don't know if it quite did it for me. Like this, I didn't enjoy this as much as say The Happening or Troll 2. The movie's not even terrible in my opinion. I mean, I got the impression that this was a god awful movie. It's just considered one of the worst. It's
not Battlefield Earth or even Troll 2 where it's just obviously terrible. But there's some. I think most of the character writing is horrible. And the main thing for me, I think actually this movie would have been elevated much higher if it wasn't for the one scene. I think we all know what I mean when I mean the one scene. Literally any kind of fun out of the movie was just sucked out of it. And then it was just kind of oh, it's a bummer.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But okay.
But before that happened, actually, I was enjoying it. I was enjoying the movie. I just put a big sour taste in my mouth that kind of affected the whole movie in hindsight after that, actually.
This film does have its defenders. They see it as a serious satire, which actually, considering the movie's directed by Paul Verhoeven, I can understand that line of thought.
This is the thing. The movie is so nihilistic. You think it's going to make a point, and it just doesn't the entire movie. There's so many, so every single guy in this movie is a misogynistic sleazebag.
Yeah.
All of them. Every single person. Every single girl in this movie is kind of catty and amorous, for lack of a better word. I mean, we're talking porn level character writing, essentially. I don't even say that facetiously. It's actually what it is. And the any appeal of the movie in my mind comes from the sexy bits, which there's plenty, and also the just as far as the theatrics, right? It's about showgirls and they put on shows, and actually the shows are not bad.
They're actually pretty well choreographed and entertaining.
Yeah, the parts that are bad are everything that's not that. Yeah. Any kind of dialogue between characters, is just, I think it's just made to make you feel gross, I guess. But this is what's weird about the movie, is that if there is any moral or any point at all, it's that the sex industry is exploitive and terrible. But then what is this movie again? What you know what I mean? They take every opportunity they possibly can to just pump up the gratuitous sex in your face and then tell you that, but that's bad. Right? And so it's you
is that where the genius of the movie lies? Because well, this is the thing. Let me backtrack a little bit. So this movie's NC-17, and it was pretty famous for being a big studio release NC-17 film,
and
actually
most successful NC-17 movie of all time.
And it wasn't successful at all.
It was successful. It wasn't successful in the theaters, but in the home video market, it actually was. It made its money manyfold.
Yeah, and which I find kind of funny because, well, first of all, just with the NC-17 rating, no one wants their movie to be NC-17. That's the kiss of death. You're not going to make any money from that. Most theater chains don't show NC-17 movies, and then you've already limited your audience to anyone younger than that. And so, and the fact that it made most of its money through, I think, home video rentals and sales, I find somewhat amusing. Because Was it mostly just like perverts who like saw this and like, oh yeah, Showgirls? Like,
I don't know. Like it's because it has that kind of a cult classic thing that most of those kind of movies don't get. Like this one, because it's like listed amongst, like you said, you look at the list of worst movies of all time. You know, we didn't watch it because we were trying to find adult films. Like there's plenty of those. You know, like we didn't. But like the reason we're watching it is because you know, it's supposed to be this so bad it's good thing. But then also, you know, it's I'm sure there is a large amount of people who watched it because of the gratuitous, and I mean gratuitous, like sex of it. Like it
and
was
that brings us back to where you were talking about the movie. Like, it throws like, you know, all this like nudity and sex in your face, and then but like on paper, like on text, it's kind of saying like this is all like gross and sleazy. So is the film secretly genius because it looks at you, the audience member, wanting to like see all these like tits and ass, and then going like, got you.
so this is the thing is that I think it would have been more successful if and maybe this is like me being I don't know I don't know what the word is, but like if they had had a more like justified ending. So basically, like people do bad things, and the more bad you are, the better the outcome was for you in the movie. The nicest character in the movie, which is probably the roommate, the nicest one, gets gang raped. Like she has by far the worst outcome. Let's see the other people. The other people, like the sleazeball boss guy, you know, he's riding like fast cars and like has awesome parties. No consequences. Our lead character literally pushes another girl down the stairs, giving her a critical injury. What is the outcome of this? Gets a promotion. The girl who gets pushed gets a big cash settlement, so that's all good too. No consequence. Like it was.
They even kiss. They even kiss.
Yeah, at the end, they put in a lesbian kiss after she pushed her down the stairs. Like it's that kind of thing that just makes you like it makes it really hard to believe. Maybe the director thought he was making some statements, but like a statement wasn't made. Like at least to me, like it really like you have to really reach at straws to like come up with some kind of. And I mean, I think that shows in the reviews. This is critically panned for I think that reason.
No, like, the people who defend it as like a secret work of genius satire is very in the minority. And and at that point, like if your satire is like if your supposed satire is misunderstood by everyone and they don't understand that's a satire, then is it good satire? Like,
yeah. And I guess that's the thing is that I actually thought this was gonna like turn into like a sex positive thing, because like the whole thing is like the main character is she's like a stripper and then she's a showgirl, but she's like really gets to the point of being like enraged whenever someone like calls her anything like, you know, like you're a whore or whatever, which, you know, that's not very nice to do, but I was hoping that like where I was expecting it to kind of go was that she would like kind of like embrace and be like, there's nothing wrong with sex work, like I'm, you know, screw you guys, but like that's not really where it went at all.
No, she just leaves.
Vegas.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, bye. Okay, that was the movie.
Yeah. I guess should we talk about should we? I guess we can have a little synopsis of the plot. There's not that much go. I already like describing that in one sentence. That's basically the movie.
Yeah.
But like this girl, you don't know a lot about her. It just comes into Vegas. Her suitcase gets stolen like right at the beginning, and she wants to be a dancer.
Yeah.
And she gets taken in by a girl who like feels sorry for her after, because the main lead does is just be mad at people. Like that's her one character trait. She has two modes, like full sexy mode and like I hate you, I want to like kill you mode.
She can be rather temperamental.
Yeah, that's her whole character. And so then she. The thing is though is that like what makes the movie is the point is that she is like a natural born talent.
Yeah.
But it's implied many times that the reason she's a natural born talent at dancing is not because of her cool dance moves, but because she has like this raw sex appeal that is just so incredible that like people have to like see her. And so like her biggest talent is, you know, the sexiness. And so again, like the movie turned that into a bad thing. Like the one thing she's got going, because like they allude that actually she's not very bright. She has a moment where she doesn't understand something as a Versace. She calls it Versace multiple times, and like she's shown as like very naive. I think that's intentional. So it's like a girl who's, and also like she doesn't know very many technical dance moves. That's also implied, but she has this sexual energy. That's like the one like thing that she has that she's like really good at. But instead of like the movie saying like, you know, own it, girl, like that's kind of what I thought it was going to be. It was like, no, don't do that. That's bad.
Well, so like, does the movie even say like don't do it? Like that's bad? It doesn't seem to really say anything
explicitly. Yeah, it just says that every single person in this industry is terrible.
Yeah, it just says behind the scenes in Vegas like sucks. Like
right, even the nice guy, the guy who's like, let me teach you dance moves. Like I just want to see your talent. Like he's a sleazeball too. Like he like it says like lines to girls to try to get them to sleep with them, and then in the end he like knocks a girl up and he's like, I guess I have to marry her. Like he's also not a nice guy. Like no one's a nice guy. And so it's yeah, and then all the girls except for the roommate was the one nice person, and we all already mentioned what happened to her, but all the other girls were like super catty and like super like you know, trying to undermine each other at every turn. Lots of like girl fights kind of thing, which is also just like kind of eye rolling. Like everyone is so, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not the best character writing. Like, we're not getting into the third dimension here. Let's just say that.
And the thing is that like, because it keeps on hitting home over and over, like how much this sucks. Like everyone's life's just either you're like a piece of shit and like your life is seemingly cool, but you're a piece of shit, or you're a good person and you get gang raped. Like that's like the, and so like in this world, what am I supposed to take from that?
Just
like I don't know. Like, what was the point?
Like showgirls can be exploited. Like it's like yeah, the behind the scenes is like bad, but it's like well I'm guessing a lot of us probably already knew that. Or could have like guessed.
And that's why I was saying if they took out the gang rape scene, that just first of all felt so unnecessary.
Yeah, it felt it was too much. That
so if you hadn't had that, because the roommate was the one nice person, and she wasn't even in the industry really. Like she's like an assistant or something.
Yeah. Or, no, well, she works at the hotel where the main character dances, but she's like a
she's like
I know she like helps with
something.
Like
right.
I'm not sure.
So like if the story had ended where she ended up better than like in the best spot or something, then you could see like, oh, by being the actual kind person, like that was good. That was what you should have done. But like no, has it worse than everybody. So it was just I don't know. And then also like I said, like the appeal of the movie, because like the movie is sexy. Like it is sexy. It's like kind of fun to watch. Like you know, there's like a
I don't know.
I thought it was all good until that scene happened, and then it took everything previous that I was like enjoying about it, and it was like, oh, I feel like I should not have enjoyed any of that. Now I just feel like a bad person, and like maybe that was the point again. I don't know, but it was just like I don't know. Like it got rid of any of the fun part.
But that's like you can make like a nihilistic film that's just like a feel bad movie and still be good.
No, but but like if I would want that kind of thing to be deep, then make me think about stuff. And like, but this is like not. It's like as shallow as it gets, and also a feel bad. So then like what's the good part? Like where is it?
Was this movie unintentionally hilarious for you at parts? Like, did you get any of that? Like, because for some people they think this is a laugh fest.
I mean, the biggest thing is going to be the just how ridiculous the characters are, especially the main character more than anybody else. Like, she is such a non-person. Like, it's so bizarre. she goes to just. So I'll like this is one of the scenes, right? She like gives this guy a lap dance in like the most suggestive way possible, right? She like it was
It's one of the best scenes in the movie.
and so anyway, she does this lap dance and like comes out of it really angry, I guess. I don't know. The lap dance actually gets her a job to be a showgirl.
Yeah.
But
Well,
like she's pissed off at the girl because this other girl is the
yeah.
one who like was like scouted her. Like this other girl scouted her, like saw her at the strip club and like do her performance and was like, you know, this girl's got talent. She even took her to lunch, but like there was not a single moment where the girl was just not just like dagger eyes, like I hate you.
Yeah,
And
why
it
was
like,
she
why?
so angry with her at first?
It was literally because it was one moment when
Oh yeah,
they
she says if you like work there, then you're not actually dancing. So, like, yeah, I
and
guess
she
kind
didn't
of.
even say it. She didn't even say it like that mean. She was kind of like, she was like, I work at the Leopard, and she's like,
Yeah.
oh, the Leopard. Well, I know what they do, and it's not dancing. Which I mean, like, you know, it's a little pointed, sure, like, but it's to have this grudge and then eventually, you know, push her down the stairs. She's the lady who gets pushed. It just seems like so out of, you know, like so much inner. I don't know. So it's just it's weird.
Well, yeah, I don't understand the animosity at first. I mean, later because then
Well, it's revealed that she was a prostitute actually
yeah,
before, and she's ashamed of it basically. And again, that's kind of why I thought they were going to be like, you don't need to be ashamed. Like we've all need to do what we need to do, but like that wasn't the message. It was like maybe you should be ashamed. Like I don't know. So like I don't know. It was just I like I said, I was enjoying it all up until the rape scene, and then that kind of like soured the whole thing for me, kind of in retrospect. But that's towards the very end. So
yeah, no. Before that, I just,
like I said, like the theatrics were kind of cool. Like, you know, if you go to see like a big Vegas show, it's like a big production. This is not some like, you know, and then they do a good job showing that on screen. So it's, you know, it's titillating, but it has more than just sex appeal going for it, right? There's all this sorts of stuff that's like, you know, it's a spectacle. It's like a crazy show, and it's like it's kind of cool. But yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, as for enjoying the movie, I'd say I mostly enjoyed it. I think I could feel its length towards the end. This movie's like,
Yeah.
I think like 2 hours and 10 minutes. I don't know if it needs to be that long, but there is enjoyment to be had, like the dialogue.
Well, it is so.
If you like cheesy dialogue, this is your movie. Because the scene where the main character Naomi, I think, and the other girl, they're eating lunch, and she's like, "I like big tits," and she's like, "Well, I like having big tits." It's like, what are you gonna do with your big tits?
That is the level of dialogue actually throughout the entire movie. Yeah, and then like it was so weird to me to see. I can't remember the actor's name, but the guy in Twin Peaks.
Oh, Kyle MacLachlan.
Yeah, it was so weird to see him in this movie.
Oh,
Like so bizarre. But he's also kind of just like he's like hey babe, like what's going on with the sunglasses, and like I don't know. He is very very
Agent
standard
Dale
sleazy.
Cooper, what happened to you?
No. such a way to fall. And like they like at one point they reveal that the hotel is like secretly kind of prostituting these girls out to like rich people, and he like the main character tells him, and he like feigns outrage. He's like, "Oh man, I'm gonna stop this right away."
Yeah,
And as
you
soon
might
as
think
she
he's
leaves-
kind of a good guy for a second there.
yeah. As soon as she leaves, he's like, "Oh, got her off my tail," or like something like
Yeah.
that. Like, you know, what a dumb like, you know, and you think that like maybe something bad's gonna happen to him, but first of all, she never finds out about it, so he just fools her the entire time, as they're like essentially like dating, I guess, or you know whatever you could call dating in this world, where he just kind of sleeps with whoever he wants, and then that's just what it is. But yeah, like nothing bad happens to him. he still just like has that kick-ass life where he's driving fast cars, going to cool parties, and he's super rich.
Yeah. It's just
And it's,
well, at the end of the day, we all know that he's a dirtbag.
yeah,
The kind of thing. Okay, I want to. Okay, the two funniest scenes in this movie for me were basically the sex scenes, or I guess one's like the lap dance, and then the others when they actually have sex. But in both of these scenes, like, so it starts out kind of hot and steamy, and I could actually like see some of the eroticism in it. But then our main character starts like flailing around, and I mean flailing around.
it's true.
What are those inflatable like tube guys you see? Like that's what it reminded me of. No, seriously, she's like waving arms, like flopping around.
She does do that. She totally does. Like in the pool for sure. Just like a whole thing. I think that's supposed to be like that's the element that she has. Like not everyone can do that. You know, like, she's special. So
I mean,
actually,
people like had to have watched that and been like, "That's not sexy, is it?" Like that's
whatever.
No, as for comedy, it is pure gold.
I also laughed. I thought the guy who stole the suitcase was kind of a funny character. Like that whole interaction, I found kind of funny.
Yeah, and he shows up at the end of the movie. So,
yeah, and she eventually. I guess he's the only person who had any consequences for his actions. He got caught.
Yep.
But yeah, like she he's just like, "How you doing?" And she just like glares at him. And she pulls out a knife.
Yeah, he's just asking. I think he's just like, "Where are you from?" Like, blah blah blah. He seems like he's trying to make conversation. I mean, it seems like it's obviously he's like interested in her sexually, but he's not being like super like he's not being like real creepy or anything. I don't think. And then like yeah, she just pulls out a knife right away. It's like, oh, all right. I mean, I get it. If you're hitchhiking,
maybe she's justified. Yeah, it seems like she lives a rough life, so maybe that's what she learns to do.
Maybe.
Oh, and then there was the fight scene in the club.
Giving it credit for.
Actually, that's what made me laugh the most was the fight scene when literally like she just knees the guy in the balls, and it turns into a brawl, and she's just like laughing at it, like, like look what I caused. And then some people are like, she started it, arrest her. And she's like, what? And then she gets arrested.
Yeah, she spends the night in a jail cell. And she gets bailed out by the dude that she kneed in the balls.
Yes. He keeps on coming back over and over. And
is that hardcore
simping? Turn on something?
Is that what we call simping?
But anyway, he keeps on doing that, but then he's the same guy who like, you know, he knocks up some girl. He's like a true dancer. He goes to the club, like the strip club, and he like tries to do this like, you know, I don't even artistic-y freeform dance moves.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everyone boos him, and he goes off stage, and then he's like, "Yeah, I got this girl pregnant. I have to marry her," and then he's never seen again. That's his whole arc. What was the point of that? I don't know. Like that's another thing. Like they're like, you know, there's actually some, you know, artistic merit to the dancing, and like it's hard to do. That also was not addressed. It was just kind of like, yeah, if you try to dance for real, no one likes it. Like, don't do that. It was just another one of those things where it's like, I don't know. It's just, this movie is just so I guess nihilistic is the word I would use. But yeah, overall, like this was not my favorite movie of the ones we've watched. It's not the worst movie as it is. It's more interesting than some. Like it keeps your attention engaged for however terrible ways it does it. Like
this isn't like terrible. Engaged. It's like the technical aspects of the filmmaking were all fine. I thought like
no weird camera shots or like.
Well, I mean, Paul Verhoeven's like a director who's actually like made like really good films before. He seems to know what his shit like usually. I mean, you have stuff like RoboCop, and then like Total Recall and Starship Troopers. And in the other corner, we have Showgirls.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like I think that there was like a definite acknowledgement that like the appeal of this movie is going to be sex appeal. So let's hyper that as much as we possibly can. But then they also tried to make it have a point, but failed in that aspect really hard. And then so like I don't know. I would definitely say it was a bad movie. Like this is definitely not a good. And as far as the so bad it's good movies, I would suggest many others before I suggest this one.
Yeah.
But
So,
there is humor to be had. That the dialogue is just ridiculous. But it's like it's ridiculous in like a porno way. Like that is kind of like the vibe I got. It was like very yeah, exactly. Any conversation between the women was always about sex, and it was always like the whole thing about the girls that hate each other. Like she has a secret lesbian crush, and they kiss at the end.
oh yeah,
It's like okay,
like
all
that
right,
comes out of
sure.
nowhere. It
Why
seems.
not add that in too?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Why not?
And yeah, like when she's talking to like the best friend, the roommate, I remember the roommate was like going to things. She's like, "Girl, I haven't been late in 6 months. I'm trying to get me some." And the girl's just like, "Ha ha, yeah!" It's like, it's like that's all the conversations, and all the conversations between men are always just like, "Look at that ass. Oh yeah." Like that's the conversation. It's like yeah. It's just that's the movie. That's
Yeah,
the
they're all
movie.
sleaze bag. It's like the one dude who I guess owns the hotel or something. He's like, I'm a big prick and I'm known for being a prick. And he like lines the
Yeah.
girls up. He's like, your tits are too big, leave. So yeah, very, very like I guess garish dialogue. It's
Right. And even the like, because there's straight guys and there's all the dancers. Most of the dancers are gay, but then the gay dancers are just sex obsessed, who just with gay. Like it's like like oh like I don't even remember they actually don't get very much screen time, honestly, but they're
not
there,
really.
and
Yeah.
they're gay because that's what they talk about. They talk about how gay they are. That's their defining characteristic. So yeah, on a whole, this movie was pretty terrible. I don't know if I have much more to say about it.
Yeah. Actually, one last thing. I usually never bring this up, but the poster for this movie, I think, is
It's
hilarious because it reminds me of. Do you remember the leg lamp from A Christmas
Yes.
Story?
That's actually exactly what I thought of when I saw it.
That's what this
It's just
poster
a
looks
long, like it's a tiny body with a long leg. It looks so off. Yeah, I mean, there's
actually
some
the
comedic
poster might be one
moments.
of those so bad it's good.
No, I did laugh more than once when I saw this movie. So like there is something there in the so bad it's good thing,
Mhm.
but it's of those kind of movies that this is like lower tier of it, I think.
Yeah,
Because at the end, this movie just kind of made me sad. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I was kind of enjoying it up to a point, and then I was just kind of like,
yeah,
and that was kind of like my reaction. It was so I don't know.
yeah. It's like if the rape scene had been taken out, do you think you would like it a
I
little
would have
bit
enjoyed it a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, because then it would have been like, like that just it was such a first of all, it's so abrupt and so
more? Yeah, it's very
unexpected.
abrupt. It's such a tonal shift, and it's just
Yeah, and
it
then
feels
from then
unnecessary.
on,
Yeah,
yeah, because like before that, the movie was kind of pointless, but it was kind of like pointless in like a raunchy kind of like fun way. And then that seemed like a reminder by the director, like this is not fun. Don't have fun, right? This is serious. And it's like okay, but now because it's serious, I'm like looking for like a point, and you didn't have that, so like you should have stayed away from serious. That's not where you should have gone with this movie, but it did. And it is like it's like a brutal scene. Like it's not, like nothing is left to the imagination. It's like very like it's just like oh my god, like Jesus. Um, yeah, it's yeah yeah. I definitely would have liked it better if they'd taken that out first. that would have been a good move on their part. I think that even the director admitted as much. Um,
yeah.
so I think it's
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like I see that happen fairly often. Like a film will have a rape scene, and the director will be talking it later, and they always go like, "Yeah, I kind of regret putting that in there now." Like I know with the first like Evil Dead movie, the tree
Yeah,
rape
the
in that.
tree. Yeah.
And then like later, I think Sam Raimi's like said like he's like, yeah, I actually regret putting that in the film because so yeah, just less rape the better.
I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
That's a good ending point. We'll end on that note. So if you liked what you heard, give us a subscribe, give us a follow. If you haven't already, thank you for the people who have. We are slowly but surely growing, and we appreciate every listen. So thank you. And until next time.
Until next time.